Today we're getting into the holiday spirit by trying to jam this giant tree into our tiny living room. So today is December 4th, and we are getting into the holiday spirit here at the homestead. Growing up, we always, Christmas was always a big deal at our house. My dad was a huge Griswold, real life Griswold. And if any of you have seen National Lampoons, you'll know what I'm talking about. He was huge into the lights and giant trees, and we lost him this year. So to carry on in his memory, we're going to harvest an obnoxiously large tree and try and squeeze it into our tiny living room. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Who's a good girl? Luna's going to help. So here we are. Now, technically, this tree is on our neighbor's property, and we had a conversation about it. He's not interested in it. He asked, while I was clearing some of the other deadfall off the tree line or off the fence line, if we could, harvest this out of here. And normally we'd just go out into the woods. Around here, we live in the boreal forest, and you're allowed to harvest a Christmas tree per year. So normally that's what we would have done. But in this case, this big, beautiful thing is sitting here. So we're going to have to do a little bit of trimming because I got 8-foot ceilings, and there's no way this thing's fitting in my house at the height it's sitting. So we're going to have to kind of crop it at the bottom. We will honor this tree. It will be used as firewood. All the trimmings will be used as boughs in the barn and in the house to make everything smell nice and Christmassy. And so we're super excited to harvest our very first Christmas tree and start a tradition. And we wanted to share that with everybody, our friends and family here on YouTube. And going to get right to it, get this thing cut down and hauled into the house. Oh, it's a super nostalgic moment for me. We didn't have to hop fences when I was a kid, but growing up on the East Coast in New Jersey and the Pine Barrens, my dad loved going out and harvesting his Christmas trees. And this is the first time I'm doing it on my own. So it's kind of digging up a lot of memories of our childhood. And we'd go out in the van and load up a few trees for us and the neighbor. And so this is super, super nostalgic for me. I'm going to get right into it here and get this thing on the ground and somehow over the fence and over to the house. Well, she's down. We're going to have to trim about 4 feet off of this thing to even get it in the house, and then a bit off the top. But this will all be dried out and used for firewood in the wood stove. And I'll have to clean up this stump. And now the farmer can bring his equipment right to the tree, or right to the fence line. Sorry. Oh, she's a beaut, Russ. She's a beaut. All right. Okay, so gonna have to take this thing back outside anyway. The trunk itself is too big for our little stand here. I have concerns as to whether or not it's going to be too big and heavy altogether, but we also got to take a bit off of this thing because it's way too tall for the ceilings in here. I can't even get it stood up for dramatic purposes here because it's just too dang big, and I can't, I could show you folks how we're dealing with here. Yeah, so out she goes. I'm going to have to take a bunch off the backside here and take a little bit off the top. Okay, attempt number 2 at getting this thing in the house and assembled. There goes the curtain. All right. Definitely gonna have to take either more off the bottom and definitely a lot more off the top. I think we can safely take quite a bit off the bottom there, no? All right, third time's a charm here, hopefully. I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple of these off the top here. Alrighty. There goes the weather stripping that time. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing monstrosity stood up here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Definitely gonna need to take it a bit off the top here and then get her opened up. Full, definitely full. Alright, let's see if I can get this baler twine off of here. Cut it or not. Oh, there we go. There we go. All out. It's definitely full. It's going to take a minute for it to settle back down, I'm guessing. And a little bit of trimming. And she's good to go. I think Dad would be proud. Not quite as full and tall as his, but it'll do. I'm not going to be able to walk past this thing. All right, that's the last ornament. Tree's all done. Took a lot of trimming. Thanks for letting us share our new tradition with you all, and hope you have a safe and happy holiday, celebrating whatever it is you celebrate this time of year. We'd love to hear how you guys celebrate if you want to share that in the comments.